Sharice. How you guys doing tonight? Hope everyone is doing well. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. And yourself?
I'm good. It's been a good day.
That's good. Good. All right, so we're going to get right into it. Today is November the 4th, a very important day.
Yes.
If you have not heard, you had not had the TV on, you had talked to a few people, we want to let you know. Today is what day?
Today we voted today. Today was election day, so we voted. And I hope everyone out there voted too. It's very important that we get that out there. So it's voting.
Yes. So the big thing, and we've said it before, sometimes I don't think you can say it too much, but your voice needs to be heard. If you didn't think it mattered, all these things would not be going on. Rules, regulations, trying to streamline and change things so that one party has more votes over the other. So it just tells you how important your vote is. As you know, I'm going to tag this real quick. In history, some of our ancestors have fought their way to the voting polls to be told no. So that tells you how important it is. If they press their way to do it, and it's nothing like it was today for us, we can just drive and go.
Exactly.
Huge importance. So make sure you vote. I hope you've already voted. For me, I was an early voter. Want to go ahead and get that out there. So they're making it easy for you. They got early voting and they got regular voting. So either way, always take advantage of it.
I went out there this morning, and when I went out there, there was no one there. So it was really easy. It was easy in and easy out. So it was really good. And then too, like what you were saying, importantly too, is like they know that our votes are important, because if they figured that our votes were not important, they would not try to be redistricting certain places and stuff like that.
Exactly.
But our votes are extremely important. So you know that your vote is important. I hope that you did. And if you didn't vote, and it might be too late because I think the polls are probably closed now.
Probably closed at 7. So watch the news. Be looking for, who won in your area, who won in your district. But keep in mind also, you vote every year.
Every single year.
Every year. So the voting is not only for the presidency, it's every year. Yeah. So it's always something to vote for. Primary is especially important. A lot of people don't think about that because it's not as big. But primary is what sets you up for the big votes. Just want to tie that in there.
Correct. And even if you didn't vote, which I hope you did, but even if you didn't vote, also want you to know that there are still things that you can do. Your voice can still be heard. So there are, you can write to your congressman, you can attend the meetings, you can email, you can call, and through Red, Wine, and Blue, you can always look there, and you will find all the information that you need in order to find out who is, in your district, who is supposed to be representing you, and make sure that you hold those people to task for what it is that they're supposed to do. Because right about now, it is all about us not staying quiet. It is about us continuing to fight.
Exactly.
That's our thing for tonight.
Exactly, because you have the power.
Right.
And that's what it is. It's the power that you hold. A lot of times we don't recognize it, but our power comes in many forms. It doesn't have to always be like your strength, your muscle, although ain't nothing wrong with a little muscle. But I'm just saying.
Right.
But I'm just saying, but you have power with your voice. You have power in your decisions. And that's all it is. Exercise your power. We all have it.
Right.
We all have it.
Yeah. And our ancestors fought for it. So don't let their deaths go to waste, Let's do it. So basically, we wanted to be sure that we came on tonight and we kind of talked to you guys about the voting, and to let you know too that we're still going to be fighting. We're still going to do the things that we need to do in order to make sure that our communities are where they need to be. But with us being realtors and us talking all the time about building legacies, wealth building and things like that, there's still ways that you can do that. And quite honestly, owning real estate is one of the best ways you can show the power that you have as well. Because when you own real estate, when you do own a house or what have you, a lot of the things that get done as far as the school being heard regardless.
Exactly. I definitely agree. And with all that being said too, building legacy. And so not only do we want to build legacy in our communities, we also want to prevent poverty. That's how we work together. That's how we come together. Because We have power, we just don't know how to exercise it. So, a lot of times we try to do things on our own. That's why, as growing up, they always say, it takes a village. And it definitely does. To make things happen, it takes a village. We have to get together. So, enough of this, I'm mad at you and not talking to family and that kind of thing. We gotta break that. We gotta break that. That's something that we should not even build.
Yeah.
And so, some things need to be broken in order to make the right things happen. So that's where we are.
I know this is like probably unpopular belief and unpopular for a lot of people, but I think that where we are right now is really a pivot place for us, as far as our community goes, as far as women, as far as Black people. I think that where we are right now is showing us too that no matter what happens, we are still resilient. There's so many things because we've gone through crazy stuff before. It's always been about, us not having before. But I think too that at the same time, that's what people want you to believe, like we can't do or whatever. But I do know, if you know your history, and please make sure too that you are telling your children about the history and you're not allowing our history to die out. No matter what is going on, please don't let our history die out. I think it's extremely important for us to know truly where we came from and what our ancestors did, what our grandparents, our great grandparents, and everyone had to go through in order for us to get to be where we are.
I agree.
Before there was, I don't know whether or not, but I know I've tried to tell my kids about, the Black Wall Street and all of the different things that we as a Black community actually did have. Like we were a rich community. And I say were, not to say that we're not anymore, but I think that sometimes the way that we move, it gets diluted. Like what we really bring to the table, it gets diluted because so many people don't want us to know that. Because if you don't know your history, you might not feel the value in what you bring to the table.
I agree, exactly. And a lot of times they'll bring out more negativity than the positive. So, we have college degrees, we have doctors, we have lawyers, we have doctors with PhDs, people in research, doing all kinds of things. And so that's just to show you that we still move mountains. And then even with that being said, we have entrepreneurs who created businesses, stuff like that. Us as realtors, we're entrepreneurs.
Right.
Pretty much, although we are licensed, we are licensed realtors, our license is held with a company, but Carrot Properties, shout out to Carrot Properties.
Shout out to Carrot Properties.
Beautiful ladies over there.
I love you guys, yes.
But shout out to them. But even still, we're entrepreneurs. Right. This is creating legacy, preventing poverty, letting people know, that, you have a dream, you can do it. I'm a big dreamer. Yeah. If I see it, I'm like, you know what? If they did it, I can do it too. Exactly. So that's been my motto, in order to help me succeed in life with a lot of stuff. Exactly. Because in some, I will say, and not to go, I'm just going to say this. In a lot of the professions, you don't see people that look like you. And so sometimes that can be discouraging. But have the mindset, even if you don't see people that look like you, you can still do it. Because the same challenges they face, you'll have to face them. Sometimes it may be a little bit more, but it's not to say that you can't do it. Not to say that you can't do it. So, we're behind you 100%. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why we have different people to come on the show, just to show, you can do things. Yeah. Sometimes you have to see it, you have to hear it to believe it. And, all things are possible. And, we just have to come together. We use our resources.
And that's what we're talking about tonight, is the resources that we have.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So if you look in our description today, we do have resources because we know the economy is a little rocky. We got some craziness going on out here. So those resources are put there so that you can use them, you can share with somebody, so that way we're all working together. That's what it's all about. That's all about.
And that's what we want our community to understand as well. It's like we're here for you. And I know that it's rough because, of course, I've spoken to several people who have been, they rely on some of the help that they were getting from the government.
Mm-hmm.
They rely on the food stamps. They rely on the Medicaid, Medicare, and things like that. So we wanted to make sure that those of you, number one, know that we stand with you. I have family members that are not getting paid right now.
Are they still required to go to work?
And they're still required to go to work.
Now that makes no sense to me.
They're still required to
That
go to
makes
work.
no sense to me.
Not at all. They're still required to go to work and whatnot, and they're not getting paid. And it's been, 30 days? And from what I remember reading, this is the longest shutdown that we've had. And so I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. And my heart really breaks for those people who unfortunately have nothing else to live on, right? So there are some people that it might be both adults that live in the household that work for the government, and they cannot go get another job because they might lose this particular job.
Right.
But it's like, you don't want to do that. So it's just so many things that, could be happening right now. So we just want anyone out there who might be going through anything, we just want you guys to know that we're here and that there are resources for you. And we're going to talk a little bit about those resources that are here in North Carolina, of course, and then, kind of touch on some of the other ones that are outside of North Carolina, because there are places that you can go and things that you can do.
Yeah, they are. And again, looking at descriptions, we do have some, and we'll review some as well. Yeah. But it's a hard thing right now. Yes, it's definitely hard. So that's why we have to come together with our resources, so that way, we can continue to lift each other up, even though it's a hard time. And they have been shutdowns before, but never to the point where you starve your people.
And basically, that's what's going on.
I'm just saying.
It's sad, because that's exactly what's going on. It's like right now, not only have you shut down and you're not, the people have to go to work and not get paid. That's tiring in itself.
Well, it takes gas to get to work.
It takes gas. And then what about the young ladies who have kids and they have to go to daycare and stuff like that? So what's going on with them? Mm-hmm. So I know that one thing that you can do is make sure that you get a letter from your employer and let them, and just so that they'll be able to kind of say, hey, this is what's going on. Once everything gets back on track, then we'll be able to. But a lot of places will take a letter to say that, we're just going to go ahead and take the letter for now, saying that you do work here and you're not getting paid. So to kind of give you some grace.
You mean when it comes to getting donations and stuff?
Well, not just the donations. Like, for example, if you owe rent, you owe rent, you owe the water bill, you got daycare, whatever it is, those types of things. Yeah. So with your landlord, or your daycare provider, anyone like that, you want to make sure that you kind of let them know, of course, what's going on.
Okay. Yeah.
So they should be able to give you grace. I hope they would. I would hope no one would be like, no.
Well, it puts you back into the mind of COVID. People weren't working jobs and not in the situation because people were scared to go to work. People were dying left and right. Mm-hmm. And so, grace was given for rent, for mortgage, and that kind of thing. Because if you can't work, the job is closed. How can you?
What are you going to do?
Right. What are you going to do? How can you move forward? So yeah, so it's a lot of that is going on. So we stand in prayer and know that there are resources out there that will help. And sometimes some places look at applications as far as food, but right now a lot of them are not doing that. And one thing I will say too, just to encourage the people that to provide food, donations, or do your own donation. Set up a food drive or something like that. Because a lot of churches do it, and sometimes, you can do it in your community and just, group with friends, family, or whatever, or just have something on your own, because there's always been a time where someone has been in need.
Exactly. Yeah. One of the things that I read was, I didn't get more information. I tried to get more information on it because I'm always about the why certain things happen. But the USDA actually sent letters and stuff to grocers and told them, do not give discounts to those people who are on SNAP or EBT. tea.
Wow.
Yeah, so I didn't find out why. I was trying to find it, but I couldn't find out why exactly. But there are a lot of grocery stores that are, giving discounts to those people that they know. And even though the USDA said that, it's like you still can't like really tell somebody like how to run their business, right?
Right, exactly.
So, hopefully that we still have people out there who will go ahead, because I know that with me, I've been thinking too. It's like it's stuff in my pantry that we can give or whatever. So I wanted to go ahead and we'll make sure that we drop this information into it. I know that we do have some things that's already been dropped. So we want to be sure that we have everything for you as far as like the types of resources that you can use in order to make sure that you are covered. So they have, let's see, Feeding America. And that is, the contact is feedingamerica.org. So that's feedingamerica.org. And they have food banks and pantry networks nationwide. The thing about it is, quite honestly, you probably can go down just about any church and kind of see that they are doing food pantry and giveaways as well. So I would say that. You have the USDA SNAP hotline, and that number, we'll have it posted as well, but it's 800-221-5689. You also have United Way. You can also, on your phone, dial 211. And if you dial 211, that's supposed to also give you information as to the resources that are out there for you when it comes to food. So 211. The Medicare hotline info about coverage and claims, because that was affected too a little bit, I believe, right?
It was, and one of the things they were talking about too is with the Affordable Care Act / Obamacare, where people were getting discounts for their insurance, cutting the discounts. So now, say somebody pays, let's say $100 for their medical insurance for the month. Now it may jump up to $400 or $500.
It's ridiculous.
That's a lot.
It's ridiculous.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So not only no food or food is strained, but now you're looking at your healthcare. Yeah. And so a lot of people will be hurting or are hurting or starting to feel the brunt of it.
It's sad.
It's very sad. And we live in America. People fight and die to come over here. And you get here and this is what you're faced with.
It makes no sense. Makes no sense.
In 2025.
I never would have thought
that we would
be here. It's like this is something I never thought we would be here.
Not here. Not here.
Not at all.
No.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. So we have that. We have the emergency food hotline, and it's 866-3-HUNGRY. So 866-3-HUNGRY. Other resources, you also, again, have the 211 line, and that's just a local resource network. And so with anything at all, they should be able to help if you need that. I would say get in touch with your DHS, which is your Medicaid, Medicare, and social services. Get in touch with them, talk to them. But unfortunately, some of them are in the same boat. They don't get paid either.
They don't. And it's a tough time.
It's a tough time.
It really is. And there's another one, Second Harvest Food Bank. They are listed under our descriptions, but I wanted to say in reference to them, not only are they giving donations out to people, and Second Harvest has been out for a long time. Yeah. That is here in Charlotte, and it's on Spratt Street, right off of Statesville Avenue. But they are also taking donations. So they're giving donations and they are taking some, because truly you can run low. You can run low, you can run out, but they're doing a little bit of both. So they have it where you can come in and get something, or if you want to drop off or donate money, they have that too. So Second Harvest Food Bank off of Spratt Street here in Charlotte.
That's good. I know that we have several up in Concord and Kannapolis as well. A lot of those smaller churches that are around there are doing a lot as well. So just make sure that you get in touch with those churches and help out with that, with the donations and whatnot. So
Yeah.
and then those who are taking, please don't take more than what you need.
Well, I did see what some places they were giving like 3 days worth.
That's good.
So I mean that's good.
Yeah.
So and then everybody could use a little something.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think it goes back to like just a few months ago we did that with Tia. When Tia had that I always forget that
Return to roots.
I cannot remember
Return to roots.
Return to
Yes.
roots. And so I thought that was amazing, and it really did come at a great time for people to start talking about what we can do as a community, and just get yourself. So basically, with Return to Roots, if you guys remember, it was about planting seeds and growing your own garden, and being a site for communities to come together and share food and whatnot. So, that's something to think about as well.
Yeah.
Something for us to do. Yeah. It's not something for, I don't know. Let me tell you what I try to do. So I heard that if you take the pineapple head and bury it, that it will grow.
I think it will, but is the climate right though?
Probably not, because it was
high. It's got to be high.
I don't know.
What was it, 40 degrees and you tried to do
No,
that?
I did this like 3 months ago. And I forgot about it too, so I wasn't taking care of it.
Oh, but see, never mind. That was a problem. That was a problem.
So I went out there, but I think it was yesterday or something like that. I was like, where's my pineapple? And it's like,
the temperature been low. Oh, that pineapple is gone.
Yeah, I tried. That was me and Keon's pineapple, man.
You know what? I don't know about that one.
It's like, come on, Keon, we gonna do this. He was so excited. That's my little grandbaby. He was so excited. But
I know he was.
No, it kind of messed up. I can't plant those kind of seeds. I can plant wealth building seeds. I can't plant. I can do the wealth building seeds.
We all got a niche.
I don't. Yeah,
wealth building will be your niche.
That's my niche because I don't know what you call it, a brown thumb, black thumb, whatever. But my stuff dies.
No thumb.
I don't know. But yeah, I'm terrible with plants and all that stuff. It's not gonna work for me.
Yeah.
So
leave it to
to the folks.
Call Tia.
That's why I need to call. Tia's gonna be like, girl, yes. So we wanted to also talk to you a little bit, of course, again, as far as like, staying positive and building wealth and whatnot. So we're going to do a series of building wealth, just kind of talking to you guys a little bit more about, different ways that you can actually utilize real estate in order to gain some wealth. Because you don't have to be a realtor, you don't have to be a broker, you don't have to be an investor if you don't want to. But there are ways that you can actually use real estate to make sure that you are gaining some income. We talk a lot about too, as far as being a homeowner. So one of the beautiful things about being a homeowner is that you don't have to do it by yourself, and you shouldn't do it by yourself. Back to what you were saying earlier. It takes a village. So even when it comes to, possibly owning a home, it can take a village. So one thing to think about is if you can't do it by yourself, why not partner with someone else? Right? Of course, have your outs available, but you can partner with someone else. There are many people in other cultures, whereas they actually would get a house, and it could be a lot of them in the house or whatever. But the point is, at the end of the day, they have something that they can call their own.
Right. So partnering with someone could be like your parents, a sibling, a cousin or whatnot. And granted, everybody needs their own space. But when it comes to working together to get to where you need to be, then sometimes that's what we have to do. And like you said, in a lot of other cultures, that's what they do. So sometimes it may not be where you want to be for that moment, but it will pass. I mean, it's just to get to where you need to be. And then sometimes we need to work more together, so then that way we can build and we can have stuff. Because that is another way how you can build wealth, how you can build legacy, and how that there's always family there or friends there for whatever you may need. Everybody had a struggle point. And then sometimes we won't always be young.
Right.
We won't always be young.
And beautiful.
So I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, that's right.
Talk to mine. Look, have me a room over there.
Like I'm done cleaning and cooking and stuff like that.
Have me a room.
Exactly.
Have me a room. I post the hours when the children can come down.
I know that's right. But like when you go into something like that, say that you go in with your family and friends, and like you were saying that you might not you want to have your own, but at the same time it's like, to me, 10 years down the road, 10 years, it could be even 5 years down, 3 years down the road, 3 years down the road, would you still want to be in the same position where you have nothing at all? Or if you would have gone in with someone and purchased some land or purchased a house or what have you, 3 years later, if you don't want to be on it anymore, you could refinance. They could refinance it, pay you the difference or whatever that is, and continue on. But you would have something to say, this is yours.
Right.
The thing about that is, like, I'm always, and even I think even these trying times right now, people see that if it comes down to it, and if you're renting, a person can come in and say, you know what, I need this space back. I need my place back for whatever reason. And if they do that, what are you going to do?
Right. And you being a renter, you have no say in it.
You have no say.
You have no say. But that's how a lot of people or families can get property after property. Everybody lives there and they share that mortgage. Right. And then as property grows and increases, we've had recession where property have went down, but it's always turned around.
Exactly.
It recycles, goes in a circle, but it's always turned around. Because the price that our grandparents might have paid for their home, you can't find that nowhere. So even back then, that looked like a whole lot.
Yes.
And so now it looks like a whole lot.
Right.
But it's only going to continue to grow. And so with that, that's how equity grows. Take some of that money out. Be your own bank. Take some of that money out. Go buy a second house. Now you got 3 houses within the neighborhood, all in the same family.
Yeah. And you think about it, like
investing as well.
Investing is great.
Same thing.
So you think about it, like 10 years ago, if you would have purchased a house 10 years ago, then right now that house would have appreciated. You could easily, even back in COVID time, which was just 5 years ago, just 5 years ago. So it's like, there's so many different things that, like, with property, that's going to help you. And there are ways, of course, you can get it. So you might say, I don't make enough money. That's the purpose of partnering with someone else. You might not make enough money by yourself in order to own a home, but if you got in making the money that you're making, and your sister or your brother or your kids or your parents or what have you kind of give you a little bit extra to make that money or to make that qualification, then you make that qualification, get into the house. Maybe 5-10 years down the road, you probably could, refinance, and you could refinance it, and you might have $50,000 or $100,000 that you can pull out or what have you, and do what you want to do with it. So those are the types of things that you have to think about, and those are the types of things that I think a lot of times we weren't told when we were much younger, because, like, for me, my mom, dad, whatever, we all grew up in the projects pretty much, right? Until we moved to South Carolina. But at the same time, when I was in New York, we were in the projects, and that's all we really knew. So a lot of times our people, our parents or what have you, didn't know how to teach you what to do in order to gain wealth and in order to have investments and to have property and things like that. I'm finding out probably about a couple of years ago that we have land in South Carolina. Well, I say we because I should say we, but it's my mama, right? It's my mama and all of them. They have lands, but honestly, even with some of the older generation, they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, and then it's all about education. All about education. One thing my grandmother always said to me: save money. And I admire my grandmother so much. I miss her dearly. She'll tell you how she feel and don't care at all.
That's where you get it from?
Oh.
I'm kidding.
Well, but she always said to save your money. She said, Tam, I don't care if it's $5 or $10, save your money. She always said, save your money. And so I remember her saying that. And I will say that her and my grand uncle, but her brother, together they really pulled their money together because my grandmother owned a house here in Charlotte.
Oh, wow.
And she also, her and her brother, the grand uncle I'm talking about,
Mhm.
they own a house in South Carolina, in Charleston, South Carolina.
Wow.
And Charleston / Goose Creek, anyway, right there's all the same. But so they did that, and so my kids growing up would call it Granny's Beach House because she was 30 minutes from the beach.
Oh, wow.
And so what I thought was funny, like, I want to go to Granny's Beach House. I want to go to Granny's Beach House. But growing up, I just knew they had that, and they had land, and it was like all the family stayed on that land. They had a section here, a section there, a section there, and that's just how they were and how it was. So I mean, part of growing up, but then my grand uncle, he moved. This was, I've always known him to live up north, but he lived up north, and he knew the value of getting stuff. And so he had a few homes, and some of my cousins didn't live there.
That's awesome.
And so it's like learning. I was like, oh wow. Growing up as a kid, I knew that I did know, but I didn't know. But of course, it's always, what would you tell your younger self
now.
What you know now? So had I did, I might have made some moves or did some things differently. But at the same time, however your life is at that time, your life may not be set up where you can do that.
Exactly.
And so that makes a big difference too.
It does.
That makes a big difference as well.
And I think that's an important point too. It's like, before we didn't know, but now that we know, we're going to do better.
Right.
There are, because even for me, like, I did have a house before we're in the one that we're in right now, and I let it go. And I wish I had not and stuff. But at that time, it's like I did what I just kind of knew was, I didn't care at that time.
Right.
And
so, like you said, sometimes we think about stuff later. And so, we all have that.
So I think that's why we push so hard too. It's like, okay, we already know. That's like you see someone getting ready to hit a brick wall, and you're trying to tell them, hey, you need to stop. So it's like, because we know we've been down that road. So it's the same thing. It's like, we know. So like, basically, you want to be sure that you're in a position that you are taken care of, and that your kids and your kids and all that other kind of good stuff is taken care of. Because that's one thing they cannot take from you is what you own.
That's right. And one thing Oprah Winfrey said, that she buys land because that's the one thing that don't reproduce. It makes so much sense. So putting this in the atmosphere, Corks and Keys Investment Group, for those of you who want to jump on board, stay with us because there will be opportunity. And I'm going to say that much. If you see it, just remember, Corks and Keys Investment Group, stay tuned. And we'll get some things going. So then that way, we talk about it. So we're going to be about it.
Exactly. So tonight, we just wanted to kind of give you guys, some encouragement and let you know that we are supporting. And quite honestly, we're all feeling it. We are definitely all feeling it right now. So don't think that you're in this alone, because you're not. So again, we'll put the resources in the links. I think we've already done that. So we'll put more. We'll put it in there again eventually. It'll get in there. And just stay with us, because we have a few series that's going to be talking about more in depth about how to gain property and the value, and even talk about maybe what you already have. Because some folks have some stuff. Maybe you want to find out like how you can do other ways of making sure that you're having that legacy and building that wealth. So stay tuned with us. Stick with us, guys. And we appreciate you guys for coming out with us tonight or watching us tonight. We do have wine. We have wine. We just didn't open it. And it was from Treehouse.
Oh, you had Treehouse wine. Ooh. Well, I had Seven Springs wine, so so we had some good stuff.
We had some good stuff tonight.
Some good stuff.
Yes. So next week we will continue, and we will talk a little bit more. Hopefully, we'll have even some better news about the government by next week. Who knows? They claim that they're starting to talk a little bit better now, so we'll see. So we'll put that out there as well.
Yeah. So everybody, loved one, stay connected, and look at the resources, get with somebody, check on your people. You know, a lot of stuff going on. We're family. We got to stick together because that's what it's about.
And if there's anything that you would like to see us do, or if you have any questions about, just please let us know, of course, and we will be more than happy to do whatever we can to try and find you the answer, get you to the right resources, or even if there's something that we can, a topic that we could talk about on our podcast, we would love to hear from you. So please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And please pass it on to your other folks as well.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
Because by the end of this year, by the end of 2025, we want to have how many subscribers? What's our goal?
No, I don't know. Throw a number out there. Whatever it is, we reach it.
3,000.
Whatever it is, we'll reach it.
3,000. We need your help, so please help us out with that. So anyway, you guys, peace out. We love you guys. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, Courts and Keys, where connection spark and conversation